All right. Well, going on from the highest price guys, we go to our 9K guys, where we have Mickelson, Fleetwood, Berger, and Grace. Who are you guys liking in this range? I mean, Mickelson, there's an interesting argument for, or just fading this whole range in general and going for a certain $8,800 golfer.
I'm on team fade this range for the most part. I don't know how you guys feel about Fleetwood.
Love him.
I think that might be the guy that I would want to play here. But yeah,
it's Fleet God. You got to take Fleet God.
Tommy Fleetwood has
it
such
is.
a
I mean,
good...
listen. I feel like that could be a super trap.
Yeah, I don't care. I love him.
6 to T3 to 1 or to and a T6. Like, I think everyone's gonna feel the way you feel, and I don't know. It just feels trappy to me. But he could absolutely win, and he is a phenomenal player. I don't know. I'm finding ways to keep talking myself out of him. So try and talk me into him.
Look at his hair. Period.
That is
okay. Fair point. He's okay. Swag god. Fine. Yeah.
He's in. But
he is pretty swaggy.
He hasn't missed a cut since the Memorial,
and he's so likable.
Which means he's due for a miscut.
No,
okay.
God, don't say the word "due." Stop.
If you're into gambling fallacies, sure, but
no, I know. I'm playing devil's advocate for no reason at all. But no, talk me into Fleetwood. Tell me why you like him.
No, I mean he definitely could screw this up. I mean he did at the Masters when everybody was hyping him up. I mean he played poorly there. I mean it's definitely in his capability to do that, but.
Yeah. Well, that's because he just completely goated out at the API last year and went 78-66 and made the cut and then ended up like top 10, which is when he sort of like got on my radar. Like I had 1 million shares of him and I was cursing him all day Thursday. And then he came back. So he has a special place in my heart for that. And honestly, I don't know. He's like outdueling Rory in Abu Dhabi. Like it seems like his game is in a different gear right now. So I'll definitely have quite a bit of him.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think he has. I mean, he showed us at the Open or the U.S. Open that he has the capability to play with guys like Brooks and long hitters, and I just think he'll be fine. I don't know if he'll win, but I mean, I just like watching the guy play.
No doubt, agree with the watching. Like to watch him play. Just not sure I'm going to pull the trigger on playing a lot of him. If I have exposure, it'll be pretty minimal, I think. What about Berger? Is anybody on Berger? I'm not. I'm just sort of curious because it doesn't feel like anybody's going to be on Berger.
His numbers look decent for sure.
I'm in on Berger. He's definitely going to be. He's in my cash core.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you know where he graduated from, so big Florida State fan. So I gotta have him there. But I like him. I think he's a good putter. I think that he's really good around the greens, and he can give himself a shot to be in contention just because of how good of a putter he is. I mean, he's not one of those guys that's just like middle and he's like good sometimes, bad sometimes. He's a pretty good putter most of the time. So I think he's on that different category of putting, and that's something here that can potentially win it for you or put you in a top 20. And that's really what I'm looking for from a guy at 92, I think is what he is, right? 92?
Yeah.
So top 20, top 10, I'd be perfectly fine with him. And plus, I don't think he's going to make too many bogeys. That being said, he'll probably go out and shoot 95, 98 now. So
I think I've just made the decision to fade all 4 $9,000 golfers. I'm not going to roster a single one.
I'm rostering 2 of them, baby.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the decision people are put to this week. They're going to do exactly one of those 2 things. So I think that's interesting. We'll see what happens.
One of the hard things with a guy like Fleetwood is with the European Tour, it's impossible to come up with statistics for a guy like that because he's so heavy over there. And that's, I think a lot of people obviously will be on him because he's so talked up. But, I mean, it's hard to get numbers to back him up because he doesn't play many rounds in the United States.
Oh, you're 100% right.
Yeah, and just going back to Berger real quick, I have been referencing this a lot lately, but I've been building out models that predict sort of top 25 likelihood of a top 25 finish based on, whatever the key stats are for the week. And Berger ended up 13th in that model. With the recent form, he was actually like 78% chance of a top 25. So the only guy who beat him in this range is Grace, who actually had the fourth best odds to top 25, according to the model that I built out. So something to keep in mind. I mean, Grace was unbelievable on approach last week, right? He hit, I think, close to 80% of greens last week. So,
I guess to tag on to your machine learning and model talk real quick there. I build 2 fantasy national models and I move them into Excel, and then I put some course history and some recent form in there, and I build like sort of a master model like we all used to do. You put a weight to them, and then I have an optimizer run through that, and I have it optimized and I run it several different ways, and then I run an optimizer on strokes gained historically at the course, and then and on strokes gained recent form, and I can't get the optimizer not to give DJ. And I've been doing this optimizer for like half a season now, or however long Fantasy Nationals have been around, throughout the swing season and the beta. And it never puts the top price golfer in, ever. And it keeps doing it this week. And that's why I'm finding it so hard to get anybody in the 9K range, I think.
Yeah.
Is because I can't get away from having DJ in almost every lineup.
Yeah, I mean, if that's how roster construction ends up going for you, I mean, I think there's definitely going to be some people that click on Phil, right? Like it's always going to happen. There's going to be people who just try to be cute and fade DJ in general. So if just sort of like Logan was talking about last week, like he had a set thing in his head where he was building lineups, X, Y, and Z. Like if that's where you're at, then I can't make a strong enough case to be like, there's no way you shouldn't be playing one of these guys. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely in consideration. It's just they just popped in the stuff that I put together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the simulator we have has DJ winning 101 times out of 1,000.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then the other one that I just wanted to say was for Berger, we have him at 258 top 20s out of 1,000. So,
yeah.
I mean, granted, it's a simulator, so who knows? But it's been pretty good.
The last time I trusted the simulator, it made me mayonnaise.
Yeah, it did not last if you trust Austin Cook, because he's been like top 5 every single week. Because
he's ranked pretty well again this week.
Yeah, he will be for a really long time because he had so many good rounds in the swing season, I guess.
Nice. Oh,
yeah, it's pretty dope.
All right, well, I guess we've discussed our 9K guys. Let's finally get to the main sauce that everyone wants to talk about. Tiger's back. I mean, not back. I mean, he played a couple weeks ago, but we get another Tiger tournament. Are we rostering Tiger this week? I don't think so, but
how dare you?
Is there a case?
I've kind of not even given Tiger Woods a thought this week, actually, as I have gone around and done everything. I have almost looked right past him, maybe to my detriment. I'm sure there's some really sharp people that are going to have 100% exposure to him. Maybe I'm missing something, but it just doesn't seem like it's all there for him. He can't. Now, that said, he couldn't hit a fairway a couple of weeks ago, and everybody else in the field could. Well, now nobody's going to be hitting fairways, so it may not matter. And he may be better than we expect because of that, because his scrambling and his putting were really good, and his long irons were better than I expected them to be. So who knows? Maybe I'm totally missing something. I guess I'm just waiting for Tiger to be the old Tiger, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, let's play him because it's free money. But until then, I'm just at 15% ownership on his first tournament back. What is his ownership going to be now? 20 at 8,800? I was
going to say, if he's going to be 15,
I was just thinking I'll take the other side, but I don't know. Am I missing something?
No, I mean, if he's going to be 15 to 20% owned and at 8,800, he's got to do a lot. And I mean, realistically, if you're going to win a GPP, I mean, you got to have like, 6 of the top, 8 to 10 scoring DK golfers. And do you really think Tiger Woods is going to be a top 10 DraftKings scoring golfer?
Well, no, and that's kind of the thing.
Yeah. And like, what percentage of the time does that happen? That's what you got to think about. I
don't know. I mean, I guess that depends, because if it was 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, we'd say 25% of the tournaments that he teed it up in, he won.
Yeah.
I mean, which is just astronomical. That was pre, 4-iron through the window of a moving vehicle. So
that'll always be his legacy.
Everyone makes mistakes, Jimmy.
Listen, I'm not knocking the guy. I'm just saying that was, this is before that happened. After that happened, he's been a different person, physically, emotionally. He's been a softer, gentler Tiger now.
I mean, a softer, soft and gentle tigers don't eat.
That's maybe the problem. Has he lost his killer instinct?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think he has. I mean, I'm probably not going to roster him. I might, but I hope he does really well. I like watching.
I feel like
that's the sentiment right there. I feel
like I'm taking crazy pills right now. It's Tiger fucking Woods. You're gonna play. You gotta play Tiger. If he goes off, you're gonna feel like such a donkey for not playing Tiger at 8,800, because there's a reasonable chance that he ends up at like 10. Yeah, but no, stop. There's a reasonable chance that in 2 months we're talking about like 10-5 Tiger. Like there's no reason not to like match the field at least.
Okay.
But do you really think though that he has a 15 to 20% chance of being a top 10 scoring golfer?
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Especially here with the scrambling, I don't think the scores are going to be that low.
Like, what was the only thing that saved him the last time that we saw him? His around the green game, correct?
Yeah.
What is it? The most important thing this week? The only time it's really that important is here. Like, why wouldn't you assume that at like base level he'll continue that? And if he does a little bit better off the tee and slightly better on approach, I don't know. I feel
I'm gonna take the L, and I'm gonna listen to Matt here, and I'm gonna roster. I'm gonna roster one lineup because I'm not playing a ton this week.
1 to 3.
But I'm gonna play him. I'm probably only playing like 8 to 10 lineups this week, so I'm gonna have him at least 10%. So I'm gonna have him in one lineup. Maybe two.
I feel much better now.
But I feel like you've made a compelling argument for the former GOAT. Well, not former, because you don't like un-GOAT Tiger Woods. The former world number 1.
Yeah, I mean, he still is one of the greatest golfers of our time, if not the greatest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to go down as the greatest by the time it's all said and done and history like looks back on it years from now. But either way, thanks, Matt. I'm going to roster some.
I'm going to make him my one and done in our thing this week,
Justin. That is bold.
You know what?
I'm just doing it.
That's fine.
Because I can't make, just like you couldn't do your whole Patrick Reed thing last week and not make him your one and done. Like, I can't act like this and then not put him in, right? Like, that would be ridiculous.
Fair. I like the commitment.
I respect that. I respect it.
I'm trying to be a little, I'm trying to make some stands. We talked about this last week.
That's true.
All right, well then talk to me about Mark Leishman at 8,500, and what is your thought on Mark Leishman? Like, I'm not playing Pat Perez. Alexander Noren definitely deserves some exposure, but Mark Leishman's really interesting to me at 8,500 there.
Like, interesting in a good way?
Yeah, like I'm interested in him, and I just need someone to talk me into like more exposure to him.
All right, well maybe Chris can talk you into it because I am ready to talk you out of it.
Okay, well then see that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. He has a 5th here in between 2 missed cuts. Otherwise, he's he opened up the season really hot. We've seen like a better Mark Leishman. 8,500 is like a lot of value for a guy that's ranked pretty highly in the world. So I was just I don't know, maybe not. Maybe just go back down to Brendan Steele instead.
Yeah, I'm off on. I'm not even gonna touch him.
Okay. Fair point.
Moving on. I think the POA stuff scares me a little bit. I think I'll
Not to say he wouldn't be a good contrarian play. I don't think he's going to be heavily owned, but like
I thought Kevin Kisner at 8,200 would be a contrarian play last week. He turned out to suck and be highly owned. Double negative.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot. That was my thing, too. So you're welcome again, guys. See, I got 2 things right last week out of the 8,000 things I said.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, I was going to say, you didn't strike out.
Yeah. No golden sombrero.
No, for once.
How about X-Man? Anybody interested in a little X-Man? I'm off Finau this week. Back-to-back missed cuts here. Tough tournament. Tough course. I'm off Finau.
See, when you say that, that makes me want to play Finau.
Probably.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, because like so far this week, I think I like a lot of chalky guys, and I think you're absolutely right. If everyone thinks the way I just thought right there, then Tony Finau's probably an excellent play.
Yeah, all I do is read stuff, and then I'm like, oh, those people think he's good. Let me go the other way. That seems like a good idea, and then it never works. But 1 week it will.
But it's like, and also, how often do we get like Tony Finau where people are doubting him? Like everybody's in love with Tony Finau.
Yeah, I mean he's relatively
right. And it's a bomber's track. I guess I'm a little biased to the negative course history there, partially because I haven't been as hyped up on Tony Finau as maybe everybody else has. So I'm okay for any reason to doubt him. But that said, like at 83 and 8,200, like I think just between the two, I think I would rather play Xander. I mean, Xander's a better golfer.
The course history is definitely a scary thing with Finau. I mean, he shot a 69, 270s, and then everything else is 72 and over. So that's definitely something where that he's not a cash game play. I'll tell you that much.
No, maybe he is a GPP play. Let's see how ownership shakes out.
And then you just got to go Chesgoat, right?
It seems like it. He's performed well after, as well as missing the cut here, but he seems to just be dialed in, man.
Yeah.
You watch him, like he was just dropping bombs, and for like a portly midget, I mean, because let's face it, he's not a real big guy, and he's a little portly. He wears like kind of baggy clothes because he's got like a
portly
cut. And, huh?
He's portly.
I think he's portly.
Wait,
like watch it. Like he looks a little chubbier than like maybe his frame would allow. That's all. Like I think that maybe if he dropped 15 pounds, Ches would probably look a little more svelte. That's all.
Yes, I just Google imaged it, and some of these swinging pictures, you could see a little bit of a gut. So I'll give you that. But we don't body shame on this podcast, though, Jimmy.
I'm not body shaming. I'm just saying that he's a little portly. I didn't say it was negative. Like maybe it helps the rhythm of his swing. Maybe if he lost weight, he would suck. Maybe because he added a few pounds, he's been playing better. Good for Ches. Hey, eat that extra Twinkie, Ches. No big deal, brother.
I feel like you're describing Ted Potter Jr.
Listen,
I was going to say, the way he
subscribes to the Big Gravy School of Fitness.
Yeah, the way he described Ches, you made him seem like a sphere.
No, he's not a sphere. I said he's portly. Portly just means like you're a little heavy. You're like big boned.
I don't see it. I don't like his hat.
That's okay. Listen, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And Chris thinks that Ches is beautiful. And that's fine. But I do think that Ches is dialed in with his long irons. I think that he's probably going to repeat a positive performance instead of that negative miscut here. The course does seem kind of long for him, but again, he was just so dialed in. He wasn't missing fairways. He wasn't missing greens, and even when he was in contention, he didn't seem to get rattled. He didn't get rattled a couple of weeks ago when he was in contention. So I mean, I guess you just keep knocking on that door, and eventually it opens, right?
He had that nice sand save on what was it, 17, 16? He had a really nice sand save late in the round where you felt like it could just go south, and then he had the nice save on 18, I believe, where he hit the first one where they thought it was OB and said it was in.
Yeah, I mean, I think he plays a really good tee to green game that could go well here.
Over his last 12 rounds, he is 4 in DK points, 1 in strokes gained total, 1 in tee to green, 3 in ball striking, 11 in short game, 8 off the tee, 2 in approach, and 2 in around the green, and 78th in putting. So, I mean, he's been unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, back-to-back second place is,
It's okay.
And he's lost to two of the greatest golfers of all time in Ted Potter Jr. and Gary Woodland. So, you know, you can't knock him for coming in second.
If he would have lost 15 pounds, he could have won. Yeah,
Maybe he would have had a little more oomph into one of the putts or something. Maybe he got a better hip turn. Who knows?
Would have been able to see his ball a little bit more around the fat rolls that he has.
Yeah, poor Ches. I don't know if we need to go that far. I just said he was Portland.
We'll talk to his people about that. We'll send him some P90X or something.
Speaking of